Who's excited out there? Who came to work today ready to play, ready to hit it really hard? Not many people. I think one guy in the corner, that's it. All right, who brought a TGIM sign with them? And not TGIF, TGIM. Thank God it's Monday. No one. Well, I can see I've got my work cut out for me. Now, folks, when I ask these questions, I need a response from you. So for the nonverbal people, pretty much the people over here, we're going to use head signals. This means yes. This means no. This means I don't know. And this means I don't care. Any of those are going to work. See, when I go to work every day, I don't go to work. I go to plurk. P-L-O-R-K. You know what that stands for? A combination of the words play and work. That means I come to work, and you know what I say before I get here? What I said right before I got on stage every day? It's party time! Now, that doesn't mean we're going to fool around here. Or actually, I am going to fool around. I don't know if you're going to fool around. I'm going to have a good time no matter what. You know where I learned to do party time? I learned to do party time where there was no party going on. I learned to do it when I worked in prisons and with dying patients and suicidal folks and drug overdose kids because there was no party going on. And I'll tell you why. Because I had this one 72-year-old lady who changed my whole life. This was before I was a comic way back in the 70s. But here was a lady in our community who was a terrific person. She made everybody laugh. She was an inspiration to everybody. And then she got cancer. And the doc told her it had metastasized. There wasn't much that they could do for her. And her family even stopped going into her to make her laugh. And it bothered me. Because if there was anybody in the world that deserved to laugh, it was this lady. This lady deserved to go out with laughter just like everybody else. So as I said, it was before I was a comic, and it was back in Steve Martin days, so I had the arrow through my head, the big rabbit ears. I'd black my teeth out with tooth wax. I'd do anything I could. I'd come in there with bedpans on my feet just to make her laugh. And the docs would see me coming and go, uh-oh. You know, this is not going to work. People aren't going to respect you if you keep walking around here like that. And I said, au contraire, they're going to really want to work with me because I'm the only one that really shares whatever feelings these folks have. If they want to laugh, I laugh with them. If they want to cry, I cry with them. I do what they need. She changed my whole life, one sentence. And by the way, that's all it takes sometimes to change your life, one sentence. You know what she said to me? I kept walking in there. She said, you're the only one out there that cares whether I laugh again or not. Everybody else is too busy trying to keep me alive. So I want you to think about that. Some of us view our jobs just as doing our jobs, not about bringing our spirit, bringing our energy. You know, I'm kind of like the Energizer bunny. I come to work, and my goal is to energize everybody. It's not working, apparently, with this side of the room, but my goal is to energize everybody that I possibly can. So I want you to think about that. Why should you come to work every day ready to do party time? Why should you do that? What's in it for you to do that? And, you know, the reality is for some of us, we think money is the driver. You know what? I work just as hard at a paid show. They're not paying me that much for this show anyway. And as for pro bono work, the money's good. We need it. We like it. I get it. That's an important thing. But that's not the reason to work hard. Well, how about promotions? Well, in this company, nobody's going to get a promotion unless there's a traffic accident in the parking lot. Everybody runs to the window and go, please let it be my boss. So it's not really about money. It's not really about promotions. It's really about being able to go home at the end of the day to the people that you care about or whatever it is that you do. If you don't have people at home, your dog, your cat, you go bowling, you tip cows over, whatever it is you like to do, being able to go home at the end of the day and being able to bring your best energy there. See, here's my goal. I want you to come to work 9 out of every 10 days with a smile on your face, and I want you to leave 9 out of every 10 days with a smile on your face without heavy drugs. Because you can do it with heavy drugs, but that's not really going to work. I mean, to me, if I took over this company, it looks to me like that might not be a bad idea. If I took over the company, I would attach a Polaroid camera at the door. When you came to work, you'd have to take a picture of yourself. If you did not have a smile on, we would not let you in. So I'm talking to you right here, okay? You see that? Because you wouldn't get into work if you looked like that. And when you left, you'd have to take a picture of yourself. And if you did not have a smile on, we would not let you go home. See, I have a sign in back of my desk from a Bruce Springsteen song that says, I ain't here on business, baby. I'm only here for fun. And that's really what it comes down to. If you've got the ability to do that, boy, everything changes. Now, everybody's got a good reason for coming to work, and it's all about kind of how you define meaning for you on the planet. I mean, it gets real heavy, real quick. What are you doing on the planet? And I know what I'm doing. Folks, this is my 40th year of teaching. Do I seem bored with it? Not really. Is it because you're a good crowd? Not really. So why am I doing this? Why am I getting excited about it? Because I don't really have a job. I've got a calling. I've got a purpose. And every show that I do, this could be my 4,000th show, 5,000, I've lost track of it. Every show that I do is an opportunity to get out there and change the world. So I got to tell you a little story. See, my real reason for doing it is actually a little sad. I mean, I was not born in the United States. My mom ran around away from German patrols for about 2 years at the end of the Second World War. She was married, had 2 other children. The patrols found him, and with 125 other people, shot my mother's first husband and her 2 children. And so when I was born and when my sister was born, we're here living for 2 people. I'm living for the child, her son that died, and for me as well. So to me, I began to ask myself, so if I got here, for me to get here, somebody had to die. I better use this life in the best possible way. And when I go to work, I better be able to bring it as strong as I know how to do it. And I'm going to encourage each of you to think about your story, because many of the people in this room have a story that's just as important as mine. So forget about the company for a minute. Forget about how much you're being paid. Forget about the promotions. Just think of you and the man or woman in the mirror. Can you look at that man or woman in the mirror and feel proud at the end of every day that you brought it as strong as you could? See, if you're not living on the edge as far as I'm concerned, you're taking up too much damn space. So I learned early in my career that one of the things that I could do, my real gift, if I had to say it as a gift, was to be able to understand and recognize people that were hurting. And I have the ability to go in and kind of share their pain for a moment and then turn around, hopefully, and make them laugh. So my ex-wife and I do say ex-wife, okay? Anyway, my ex-wife and I used to go on April Fool's Day every year and do a stunt somewhere to demonstrate the power that humor could do and positivity could do. So the first year, we went to a convalescent home. Now, this is not really a fun place, right? If you've ever been there, big bay window, people sitting by the window. Some of the folks have Alzheimer's. Not such a bad disease. You get to meet new people every day, hide your own Easter eggs, so not really totally a bad. But anyway, we went there, we would do a show. We do shows for free. And the only thing we would ask is at the end of the evening for them to count up the pain meds they gave out and compare it to nights when there was no show. And you know what they found? No surprise here. That on the nights that we did comedy shows, they gave out less pain meds. Why? Because the people were laughing. And people that are laughing don't need the same kind of pain medication. So we got excited. So the next year we went to the unemployment office. And I want to ask how many of you have ever been to the unemployment office. I can tell that some of you may be headed. No, I can tell. I've been to the unemployment office. In 1971, I only had a master's degree. And I went to the unemployment office to collect, I don't know, $30 that week. And apparently, the unemployment office only hires evil and wicked people. That's the job requirement. They look for the nastiest people they can find, and then they grill you like a tuna for the $30 that they give you each time. And I remember this lady going, "Oh, my pretty, did you look for a job?" And each week I would go there and kind of be humiliated with this. I couldn't stand it. So one time I finally said, "No, lady, I didn't go look for any jobs. I'm going to take that $30 and buy drugs this week. That's why I got a master's degree, so I could do that. That was my plan." So we went to the unemployment office over on Mission Gorge Place, and my good friend Diego Haro said, "Well, come on in. I'd like you to imagine the following scene. If you walked into the unemployment office on that particular day, and you did not have a smile on your face, and you walked up to the counter, that civil servant, and all the civil servants start to snap their fingers. We taught them a little Motown two-step. They're white people, only teach them 2 steps. And we had a little Motown two-step, and we had them sing a song to the people online. And you can imagine what song that was. Get a job, sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la, get a job. I want to be very clear. Our goal was not to make fun of the people online. Our goal was to say to them, you know, it really could be pretty sad that you don't have a job. So you could come to the unemployment office and for 1 second, party a little bit, laugh a little bit, feel good. Because think about it. What do companies want to hire? Sad, depressed people? Well, maybe this company, but most companies don't want sad, depressed people. They want people that are lively. By the way that we knew that it was real and that it worked, every time a new person came into the office, all the people at the front of the line would go, yo, why don't you come to the front of the line? And as soon as that person got in there, everybody else on the line started to do sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la. So that means that once we gave, and here's the secret, people permission to laugh at a tough situation, the ability to look at it and see something different. It wasn't just an unemployment office. On that day, it was an opportunity to be able to laugh. If I ever needed proof of this, not that I did, but if I ever really needed proof, we did one more stunt. This was the best stunt we ever did. We went down, whenever your life is not in order, do me a favor, go down to a homeless shelter and try to, and do something there and listen to the folks' stories and find out what's going on. We have a wonderful center here in San Diego called the St. Vincent de Paul Center. It used to be run by a wonderful guy named Father Joe Carroll. And my ex-wife and I and 3 of our comedy friends went down one night to try to serve not only food to the homeless folks, but to serve good tidings. And I'll never forget, I was worried. I mean, I don't worry about making audiences laugh. Most of the time I can do that. Apparently not with you folks, but with everybody else, I can make people laugh pretty easily. But I was concerned about whether I could make these homeless folks laugh. Because after all, I'm a middle-aged, white, fat guy, and they're not. And to be able to make someone laugh, you've got to be able to touch their heart. They've got to be able to touch your heart, and you've got to be able to relate to them. So I was kind of a little tentative that night, but I figured I was going to do the best that I could. And I was in charge of giving out the meat that night. And the meat that night was mystery meat. I don't know what it was, but it was the kind of meat that even if you were hungry, you would go, I'm not that hungry. I am not going to eat that. Anyway, I took a piece of this meat, I put it on a gentleman's plate. The gentleman looked at the meat, looked at me, and his instant response was, filet mignon again? That's a pretty heavy statement. I want you to think about that. Here's a guy who doesn't know where his next meal is coming from. And just because we're trying to communicate in a slightly different way and we're trying to make him laugh, he now has the ability to look at this and say, you mean we can party? I sat down with Mr. Filet Mignon that night, heard his story, and I know that I touched his heart, and I know that he touched mine, because that now probably has to be 35 years ago, and I'll remember his face till the day I die. So I want you to think about what you can do about making your day so terrific that at the end of the day, here's my goal. I want to go home with more energy than I had at the beginning of the day. On a good day, that's exactly what I can do, and so can you.